Sometimes you learn by helping others learn. Kane University.
Welcome back to our city, where I'm joined by Ellie Botner and Natalie Garcia from Jewish Family Service. Welcome to the two of you, and thank you for joining this afternoon.
Thank you for having us.
Well, let's talk about the RSVP program. What is the RSVP program?
So RSVP stands for the Retired and Senior Volunteer Program, and it's a federal program administered through the Corporation for National and Community Service. It's a federal program, and it's one of the largest volunteer programs for older adults 55 and over. So within RSVP, volunteers are given the opportunity to give back to their community, and the program in general has several focus areas, about 7 of them. And Jewish Family Service is the sponsor agency for all of Union County, and we primarily focus on healthy futures, education, and disaster services. And so most of our primary focus here is healthy futures, and that involves aging in place activities, obesity and food, and access to care. So most of our volunteers are volunteering in different services throughout the county that involve helping seniors with transportation, delivering of food to homebound individuals, what else?
Our current Friend Advocate program,
Right.
we're matching a lot of volunteers up with that, and providing companionship.
Now,
anything to enable seniors to live comfortably at home.
How do you determine who's eligible for this program?
So you have to be 55 and over. So the process is it's an application process, and really, just verification of their ID, determining that they're 55. But it's open to anyone who's interested in volunteering and anyone who's interested in giving back to their community.
It's a great way for them to gain new experiences also in something that they're not necessarily experienced in. But for some of the programs, it does involve an interview process, potentially references as well.
Now, Ellie, you've been on before, right? On
Yes.
the show before. And now this is your first time?
This is my first time.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I started a Jewish Family Service about a year and a half ago. I started as the food program coordinator, so I worked with the food pantry and with helping low-income families, with accessing different food resources throughout the county. I was asked by our director to write this grant for RSVP back in last July, I believe. And so the deal was, you write the grant, you get the position if we're awarded. And so we were awarded in July 1st of this year. And that's the start of our program, and that's what I've been doing since. So I kind of call myself the volunteer matchmaker. So volunteers will contact me with their interests and skills, and then it's my responsibility or my job to best meet their needs and find an organization or a volunteer placement for them.
And Ellie, what's your capacity with the Jewish Family Service?
So I've been there now for close to 4 years, and in that time, so far I've been working as the Friend Advocate Coordinator, which is a program that assists seniors in case management and companionship to be able to stay safely in their homes. We spend a lot of time trying to match them up with resources throughout the county. I'm also in charge of the food pantry and our transportation programs.
Now, as you mentioned the county, what prompted Jewish Family Service to bring this program to the county?
So Jewish Family Service has a long history of services throughout the county, particularly through our older adult department. We have a lot of programs too with our home care, our nurses, our social workers, and then we also have a family and children department with counseling. Then in addition to that, we also have our food pantry and our vegetable garden, which has been in existence now for 4 years. And over the course of time throughout our programs, we've really discovered a big need for volunteers. We have a lot of opportunities for them, but in general, we've had more seniors who've been calling and looking for volunteer opportunities. And then also there's a lot of needs, though, that aren't unfortunately able to be met because of a a shortage of volunteers, or rather an inability to find enough volunteers. And as we've been developing this program, we've been finding that there are so many people that are looking to volunteer, but at the same time can't figure out where to give of their time, where to get involved. And so really we're excited to be able to get involved in being able to assist older adults in finding a volunteer opportunity where they could go ahead and make a difference, not just with Jewish Family Service, but many other agencies throughout the county as well.
Now with the RSVP program, what's the goals?
So we are required by the grant to recruit 230 volunteers over the course of 3 years. But overall, our goal is to, engage as many older adults as we can in volunteer activities that, have a measurable impact on our community. And since the start of our program, I think that we've done an amazing job in doing that. Again, we started July 1st, and we've already recruited about 85, 86 volunteers.
So the recruitment program you had 2 weeks ago, that wasn't your first one?
No, our first one was actually October 22nd. And that was a much smaller group of people. It was about, I think, 8 volunteers who came out. And then we came up with new ways of promoting the orientation and information session. And it was a great turnout. We had about 23 volunteers come out, and they all signed up for RSVP. And as of today, we have about 85 volunteers.
Now, overall, how do you see this program impacting the community?
So really, right now, as we've started developing the program and meeting with other organizations, we're finding out that there are so many needs throughout the county that are unfortunately unable to be addressed, or the organizations are struggling to address them. Areas such as assisting seniors, or delivering food pantry boxes, or getting food to with the nutrition sites for the Union County Division on Aging. They're always struggling to find more volunteers. And there are so many other small things that people wouldn't even think of necessarily on their own. And really what we hope to develop over the course that we have this grant is really for RSVP to become the solution to a lot of these challenges that organizations are having. We find out through, just in the last few months, we were getting so many various calls from people who have organizations that are confronting a particular issue and calling us and saying, do you have any ideas of any resources, any volunteers that could potentially help us solve it? So we're really hoping that RSVP becomes over the time the solution to a lot of these challenges that we have in the county.
Now, is Jewish Family Service the only place to volunteer, or is there other places that someone can volunteer?
No, so the good thing about this program is that it allows for us to partner with different organizations throughout the county. So it does open it up to a wide range of different volunteer opportunities, and also it's beneficial for the volunteers because we have that opportunity to partner with organizations again throughout the county. So it makes it easier to find something close to home. I do have a lot of volunteers who have mobility issues, or can't get around because of transportation. So it's good that we can provide different volunteer opportunities that it's easily accessible for them. As of right now, I think we have about 8 or 9 partner agencies. And so we are still in the process of recruiting more volunteers, or more partner agencies, so that we have at least 1 or 2 partner agencies in each town.
Yes, sorry. Currently we have the Union County Division on Aging is one of our big partners. It's also
the Elizabeth Coalition to House the Homeless,
and many other organizations. Both, the volunteers can't be involved in any religious activities, but many of the volunteer sites we partner with are, religious organizations, whether it's the JCC or the Jewish Education Center, but also, several churches as well that we're partnering with. There's in Elizabeth we have just slipped my mind. There's Bernice's Place.
Right. So the coalition branches off into 3 different programs. So there's the Elizabeth Coalition to House the Homeless. We partner with Groundwork Elizabeth, which actually they have a 3-acre farm here on Kane. and the Division on Aging, they have 22 nutrition sites throughout the county, so that's easily, that's a great opportunity for volunteers because of the number of sites throughout the county.
And then another thing I would add is also it's a big benefit to the volunteers themselves. So aside for addressing the needs throughout the county, by making it accessible for them, we're giving the older adults a way for them to get involved in a way that they're able to, without having to travel too far, and finding an opportunity that they're able to really get involved in and contribute to.
Now, once someone has come on board and they've agreed to be a part of this program, what's the time limit, or what's required of them time-wise?
So it really does vary depending on how much time the volunteer does have to offer. We have volunteers who volunteer 30 hours a week. We have volunteers who volunteer once a week or once a month. We do ask that, depending on the volunteer activity that you're interested in, for example, education, we do ask that volunteers make a time commitment because we do want to we partner them with or we match them up with a student. So we do want to see progress with that student over time, and so we don't want to introduce a new volunteer every 2 months or so. So for example, another program is our Friend Advocate program, where we match a senior and a volunteer together, and the volunteer is somewhat like an advocate for the senior. And so we do ask for time commitments for different programs, but not all of them. So it really does depend on how much time the volunteer has.
And what's great about it is it gives somebody who's looking to give up their time, looking to get involved some way. We have there are so many seniors that we know of who would just like to be able to give back to their community. And now it gives them the opportunity to be able to call. They usually call Natalie, who's our volunteer matchmaker, and they could say exactly what they're looking to do, whether they want to do something just once and try it out, and maybe that would lead to them having an ongoing a connection, or whether it's something that they're looking to have a real commitment to. It gives them the opportunity and the flexibility to find really whatever they're looking to do.
Now, in addition to what you just mentioned, are there any other benefits to being a part of this program?
Yes, so I think what we like to first tell volunteers the health benefits of volunteering. We like to promote that a lot, but I think one of the more important benefits is the fact that they get to give back to the community that they live in, and also it gives them the opportunity to work with other volunteers from different backgrounds towards a common goal. Aside from that, we do offer supplementary insurance for volunteers while on duty. So this includes excess automobile liability and accident coverage. And then this program also allows for us to recognize our volunteers, and so we plan on having an annual recognition luncheon sometime in the spring for our volunteers, and it's a good way to recognize the volunteers. And also we do partner with agencies who may not have the capacity of recognizing their volunteers, and so this gives them the chance to partner with us, and then we have a nice luncheon for the volunteers.
So for those who have joined so far, what are some of the opportunities or what are some of the volunteer opportunities facing them?
So right now, as I mentioned, we do have education. So there's tutoring, after school, homework help completion. We do have the aging in place activities, which involves transportation. So if volunteers were interested in helping seniors get to and from medical appointments or even to the grocery store, we do have seniors who have mobility issues or lack of transportation, and so they can always use that extra help at the grocery store, at medical appointments. We also offer food pantry support. So we actually have a food pantry on site at JFS, but we partner with the community food bank in Hillside. And so we have volunteers who work at food pantries. We have volunteers who deliver food to our homebound clients. Actually, this past Sunday was our monthly food pantry, and so we had a group of volunteers come, and depending on where they live, we give them a route of 2 or 3 food boxes that they deliver to our clients. We also have disaster services, which we are sometime in the spring as well. We are hoping to have a disaster kit program, and so we're looking for volunteers who are interested in coming out to JFS and assembling kits that we that we will then distribute to our seniors.
Now, if someone wanted to contact JFS to get additional information on becoming a volunteer, how would they do that?
So we have a Facebook page, and it is the RSVP of Union County. They can also contact me directly at 908-352-8375, and that is our office at JFS. We're located at 655 Westfield Avenue. And I'm always available to meet with volunteers, either in person or over the phone, through email. We have a lot of volunteers who can't physically get to the office, but they are interested in volunteering, so we can always have that phone contact, and then from there I put them in contact with whatever agency that they're interested in volunteering for.
Okay. I want to thank you both for joining us.
Thank you so much.
And I wish you much success with this program.
Thank you very much.
We'll be back with the second half of Our City after these words. Thank you.
We're an American original, dependable, historic, nuanced, with all the comforts of home, even when you're just visiting. So we're celebrating for all that we've left untouched and all that we've changed. A place where the past meets the future. So consider this your invitation.
We've been celebrating here in Elizabeth for 350 years, and we're just getting started. In this tough economy, you need to make smart decisions. Shopping in Elizabeth is one of them.
In Elizabeth, you'll pay just half the state sales tax.
Only 3.5%.
When you visit our thriving downtown shopping districts.
The savings are just as great at the IKEA store.
And the Jersey Gardens Mall, the largest outlet mall in the region.
Elizabeth has great restaurants.
A one-of-a-kind Lowe's movie theater.
Brand new hotel.
There's something for everyone.
So be smart. Shop Elizabeth.